Well, this is an act of optimism because I'm streaming through a mobile phone with a new SIM card with a prepaid, so I'm kind of hopeful that I'll actually be able to get some painting done tonight. Maybe people will be watching. Wish me luck, because realistically anything could happen. I am checking my stats and checking my data, so I will be watching Twitch TV. Hello Twitch. Hello YouTube. Hello everybody. Please tell me you're watching. Please tell me you can see me. Please tell me you can hear me. And I can see me. Oh, there's an Amazon Prime video on my channel. I don't think that I'm happy with that. I don't have much of a choice though. So I'm live. I can only get 408p, which is weird. We'll pretend that that's another thing. Yep, and I've got a bit of delay, but I'm definitely there. I have an incredibly itchy nose, which I blame on cats, because cats are bad. I'm sorry about that, but cats are bad. But let us get on with the painting. As you can see, I have my +3 glasses of seeing, which do like mega magnification damage, which are generally there because I'm extremely old and my eyesight is poor. In between sips of coffee, tonight's soundtrack will be provided by my son and 2 of his mates, who are playing Dungeons and Dragons, but don't think that I'm a bad father because of that. I tried to get them to play board games, but it has to be Dungeons and Dragons apparently. I'll also be playing an incredibly obscure soundtrack from a movie, and it's on you to see if you can figure it out. So I hope that's not too loud. I might just turn it down a bit. There we go. And anybody who can guess which movie this is from wins like 1 million internet points. So let's see how long this holds up. Also, my record, I think, is about 6 minutes before my internet shits the bed. So it could be quite interesting to see what happens here. Just purely because in a few minutes from now, we could be without internet. But like I said, it's a new thingy, so I'm hoping it works better. And if it does, I'll be happy. I'll be mind-numbingly happy. Done. Alright, let's see if I can get some people. Okay. Bang. Until the internet here craps out. Tweet. Let's see if that generates any information of interest. Oops, there's one person watching. Hello to the one person who's watching. I think. Well, it might be me who's watching. No, I'm live. Live dashboard. All seems to be good. Okay, good. So I'm just mucking around getting things set up at the moment. It's incredibly uninteresting. But given the problems that I've had with the internet, and I'm going to attribute that to Australia, because otherwise it's my fault, nobody wants that. But I'll download some stuff and I'll talk for a few minutes until things work, I hope. So if you are there and if you are watching, drop us a line just to let me know that I'm there. Going to have a sip of my coffee because at 8 o'clock at night a cup of coffee is exactly what I need. It will help me paint better. And just to give you an update of what I've been painting, it has been on Twitter and around the place, but I've been painting Magor for Dex, Underworld's Warband, and the camera is washing out. Nope, the camera is washing out the colours a bit, which it has want to do. Let's see if this makes a difference. Hold on. That makes quite a difference, but not in a good way. Probably improves the colour a little. Does make seeing a little bit more difficult. But I've got the shoes highlighted, the boots are all highlighted. I'll do that, see if we can get focus. As you can see, it's a professional Twitch stream. I'm a professional streamer. But does that work? Not really. So I've got the boots all highlighted and the cloak's all done, despite the fact it looks like it's not done. It's highlighted green to go with the red. I've just got to do the eyes, and as it turns out, there's one pissant little skull sitting just there that I forgot to do. I'll have to paint, but thankfully that's just a gold. I think I'll make that gold, and that'll be easy. Oh yeah, and this little plume thing up here I'll have to do, and his arm that I've started on. Again, let's see if I can get better pictures. Vaguely better picture. So his arm's red, his axe is sort of bony looking, will continue to be bony looking. Should get a half. I could reduce that light to about that level. That's really good actually, because I can see to paint. It actually comes in pretty good. But as it stands, I can't, so I'll have to put up with a really washed out brightness. Let's see if I can get that to work better. Hold on. Configure video. Turn down the brightness. How brightness is that? That's as brightness as. So I can see that fine. I'm kind of hoping that if I turn it right down, nope, I'll leave it there. The one with the 4 eyes will be hard to defeat. Okay, look. And that's going to have to be about the best I can get. I've really got onto the old Warhammer Underworlds, or Shadespire. And I picked up, at count, 4 warbands. So there's the 2 in the box that I got, or that we got, plus deck 1 Erd Magor's Fiends. So we grabbed that, and I also grabbed the Wood Elves. So that means that I've also got Ilthari's Horde of Killer Trees. It's an interesting game, and hopefully those of us out there who have seen it or are watching it, it's actually quite enjoyable. Strange game, like different from what you'd expect with 40k or from fantasy or anything like that. But enjoyable. Like Games Workshop have approached it as a beer and pretzels-y type game, so it's not a long game by any stretch of the imagination. But I was watching, who was I watching? Miniature Painting Den last night, and it's like a good game to bash out in a short period of time. In fact, if you could find somebody at work, you could take it to work and play it there over your lunch and probably be able to get at least a couple of rounds. The same can't be said of, obviously, 40k or AOS. So you're sort of a little bit benefit. You take benefit from that a lot, which is cool because it's nice to be able to just sit down and bash out a game. Yeah, I'm a fan, and certainly we can play 1 if not 2 games a night, and get everything up and running and have it all good to go. So, am I still streaming? That one viewer who I can see. Follow the yellow brick road, homie. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm hoping you can. Good lord. I'm just sitting there across a whole heap of channels. I'm trying Restreamer to pound this out across YouTube as well as Twitch and also a third channel that I can't remember. So there may or may not be lag, but I'm hoping that there's not, because it'll be really annoying. So let's see what happens. It looks like we've got past our 6 minutes. We're at 10 minutes now. I've still not managed to pick up a single paintbrush. I'm pretty convinced that things are going to continue to work okay. So it must be time to dig in and possibly get started on Magor. I'm not sure what the delay's like online. I wish I had somebody there who could tell me, but that's alright as well. Click to hide, what's that? How long have we been broadcasting this session? Apparently 11 minutes. Good. No one's created any clips. I can deal with that. And it's unstable, which is disappointing. Look, I'm sorry I'm not painting, but I'm trying to deal with really shite internet, which is holding up, but badly. Now, for those of us who are in Australia, I'm going to go and flip a coin tomorrow. I'm not massively excited by the whole thing, but we'll pretend that it's probably a good thing. I don't believe in our political system in the slightest, unfortunately. I wish I could. I really, really wish I could. However, we're getting the governments that we deserve, not the governments that we want. And of course, recently, in fact today, my time today, we mark the passing, unfortunately, of one Robert Hawke, who was just one of the most amazing Prime Ministers that Australia's ever had, and regrettably passed away at the age of 85, I think he was, which sort of sucked as well. It kind of marks the end of an era in Australian politics, and we're up to our arsehole in people who just aren't any good. They're just weak characters, weak convictions, just weak, man, regrettably. So hence tomorrow, while we're all gonna flip a coin and hope against hope that things work okay. So I'm getting no delay apparently in a couple of issues, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I don't know what this stream's costing me as far as data is concerned, but I don't really care about that at the moment. I do with slightly more. There's a drop there. So welcome to a painting stream where no painting's being done, but you know, that's all good. Cool. Okay, that can go away. And the sound of mouse clicks is really loud too. People are seeing me on Twitter, but they're not watching me. Boo-hoo-hoo. Okay. I might actually start. Oh no, I can't record it, because if I record it, it'll work fine. However. Okay, cool. So I've got Magor mostly finished. As I said, I've got that one pissant little skull on the back of his armour there to do. And I think I'll just gold that one. I'm only, because it's the back of his armour and no one pays any attention to that. Gonna get me some. Oh, you know what? I just recently found this one and it's so good. Like the GW Golden Griffin. It's just a dry brush paint. but it makes such a really good gold, like a nice, well, almost a silvery sort of gold, which is kind of amazing. Let's just adjust that so I can see better. Hopefully it makes things visible on the other side. Give it a shake and grab my trashed out dry brush. Millions they own, but it's an old Citadel starter brush. I would normally obviously use a dry brush and a brush that I didn't really care about, but the back of his armour is kind of fiddly, so I'll give it a hit. Wait, that was a bit much. Oops. Okay. So it's just very lightly gold, and it's only a small detail, so I'm not massively stressed about it. Okay, so Magor is done, apart from obviously his arm, which is hanging off. He's lost an arm. He's armless. He's armless. Move that forward a little bit so it's not quite so annoying for me. And like that, so I can see. What do we have to do? His eyes. His eyes. What colour will I do his eyes? If you're Magor, what colour eyes would you have, do you think? I think a nice light green provided by the lovely people at Watercolours, my unofficial sponsors. Well, the cool thing about the Watercolours paints is they're in these cool little paint bottles, but they've also got rattlers in them, so they mix really well, which is good because they sort of sit for long periods of time around this place, and because they sit for long periods of time they tend to settle a bit, but they mix up so quickly and so well. So I got me a fine detail brush and I give it a bit of wahey, whack it down on the palette. And little piece of hair on the end of the brush for some reason. I'm only painting little. Now, what have I noticed about painting recently? You know, one thing I've noticed is a lot of people using those Citadel, I guess they are paint stands, and they are such a good idea. Like I'm using an old GW paint bottle, as you can see, because I've got like a million of them. But okay, I don't know how I've missed it honestly up until now, but the principle is solid in that you elevate and it's just so easy to hold. Like I can hold this and I can hold it stable without having to hold the miniature, so I can hold the plinth that he's standing on, or the thing that he's standing on, rather than the figure itself, which just, I don't know, it seems to make painting detail and holding it stable a lot easier than when you're mucking around with not doing it. So if you haven't got one, go out and get the GW one because it's awesome. But if you don't have a GW one, grab an old paint pot, flip it over, or grab something and just blue tack your dude to the top of it. Makes such a difference. Okay, so the skull's done, the leather's done around the leatherwork, his arm is all red with gold trim, his eyes are green, so's his cloak, the stupid skull on the back of his armour's done. I'm not convinced by the paint job, but it's alright. I think I'll get a bit of that red brown in there and Just clean it up that way. Got my handy wet palette. So stuff that I've painted, I've been using. Oh my god, seriously, like if you haven't used one or you haven't got one, get one. Wet palettes are amazing. As the young people say, amaze balls. Because it allows you to extend the life of your paint, especially where you're mixing colours. Because that's one of the worst things in my wet palette, in this case, is again a cheap ass knockoff. Because of all the things I am, cheap ass and knockoff is one of them. Damn it, I wish I hadn't done that now. Okay. But it will make a difference to your painting, I'll tell you that much for free. I've made a bit of a mess there, so I'm going to have to go back and clean that up again. Oh, god damn it. Let that be listened to sometimes. Things should just stay painted as they are. What else is going on? You know, stuff day to day. Still alive. Family's growing slowly. Growing like as in maturing. My daughter went on her first big school excursion today, and they went off to an animal shelter. And as I said to her, do not come home with any more pets, because we've got a dog and 2 cats. That's enough, especially with one of those cats is a killing machine. Like seriously, possums and birds, and I'm not sure. I'm thinking about getting some chickens, but I'd wager dollars to donuts that they would have a very short lifespan with Toby the killing machine hanging around. Okay. What I should do. No, I can't be bothered. Alright. So Magore's base, much like the rest of my Shade Spice stuff, is going to be a nice grey. And I've got some Rinfang Steel, which is not a grey. I'll give it some Dawnstone, shall we? A bit of Dawnstone. Okay, so other things that I've learnt in the last couple of weeks, especially as I'm starting to stretch my painting muscles again, is things like rattlers are just such good value in your bottles of paint. Obviously the GW ones don't ship with them. I learned it from the watercolours paints, but I've got like something to agitate is just golden, and whether they're glass beads, which always work really well. Why did that fail? For what reason did that fail? Oh, you know what? I give up. Like, seriously. I'm doing everything right. I'm sad. Alright, well, how did we go tonight then, do you reckon? It's about half an hour. There's been a lot of me talking about streaming not working. I got approximately no painting done. Okay, well that's a little bit exciting. Now it's green, so that means that everything's working okay. I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed, you know? Alright, let's see what's happening here. Good, don't like it, internet. Stupid. Who are you? Why are you following me? Oh, you're not. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Twitch Inspector. Unstable. online, and now it's dropped off again. Been unstable. It's been stable for 2 minutes in total. Well, okay, so on top of using wet palettes, and what else? Making sure you use plinths for your miniatures, because that's really cool, and things. The other lesson is, don't try and stream at home in Australia when you're painting, because you get zero painting done, and you look like a bit of a dickhead because your streaming doesn't work at all. Alright, well, I'm going to call that for tonight and come back and try again. Thank you if you are watching, I really appreciate it. That's about all I got, because this is just ridiculous. Like, now it's okay. Grr. Magore's base needs to be blackened. I reckon, should I keep going or should I give up? If that was me, I would have cracked it a long time ago. I need to change one of those lights as well to give me a better light to paint by. Fine. You know what? I'm feeling brave. Because it's now 30 odd minutes in. This still thinks it's unstable. Stream up. Streams up. Use dashboard. No viewers. And I give up. Alright, you lot. Look after yourselves. Be good. And I will see you on my next ridiculously bad stream where the internet craps out again. We'll see what happens next time. Thanks for watching. See you again.